Okay, how are you doing? So, welcome again to the first week of the Get Fit in a Flash month. So, just with the running and walking and any of that I want to participate, what I'm going to do is put up maybe a 10-15 minute video each week, just kind of various tips, different stretches, maybe strength routines, different things that I kind of find helps myself. I've been doing a good bit of running lately since pretty much the first lockdown, just to keep myself fit and anything else. So just a few stretches then that I generally do that I find very good for the main parts or the main different muscles in the legs, glutes and lower back as well. Okay, so I would do these post run. So if I did whatever long easy run, or if I did a kind of a fast run or whatever it is, I just do these, give maybe it'll only be 4 or 5 minutes doing a quick stretch, and it just helps me recover that a little bit better and helps keep everything loose and nimble as well, and avoid injuries is the big thing really. Okay, so the first and probably most important stretch I do, especially when you're starting off running, you'll often find that your calves will get very stiff, so the back of your legs here and your Achilles. So it's just your body getting used to that running and getting used to that movement. So the first stretch I do when I come back is, and literally you can do it anywhere that's slightly elevated, a step, going up the stairs, whatever it is. So what I do is I get up on the step with one leg, I drop my heel as far as it will go. And what that does is it stretches the whole calf, even up towards the hamstring, and the back of the knee, down as far as the Achilles. And I'd hold that for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'd push up for 5 seconds, just a slight push. 3, 2, 1. And then I'd drop again for that 10 seconds. And when we push up, it gives us it kind of activates the muscle, and that allows us to get a deeper stretch then for the second one for that 10 seconds. And I do that on both sides. So go to the other side, up on a step, just drop for 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you get a deeper stretch then for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, if you're depending on how tight you are or how stiff you are, you can keep the stretch for a little bit longer, or you can repeat the stretch maybe twice. Okay, so that's the first stretch. That's your calf and Achilles stretch. The next stretch I find very good is for your quads and your hip flexors. Okay, so generally what I do is kind of that lunge movement. So I put my rear foot up on a seat. So if it's a couch, even if you're looking at the telly in the evening, you can kind of do this. And I drop my knee down to the ground. Okay, so that kind of just gives an extra stretch to that quad and the front of your hip. And I just hold that then for 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Even sitting back on it a little bit more. And you're just getting that extra stretch in the front of the hip, more than you would maybe if you're holding it up yourself. Okay, and get your just holding that. Okay, and then swap that around. Do the other leg. So just down on the seat, drop the knee to the ground, and sit back into it. So it's just getting that front of the hip, opening up your quad, and holding that again for 10 to 15 seconds, again depending on how tight or stiff you are. Okay, so again you can do this even on the couch, looking at the television. It takes maybe 3-4 minutes and you're good, right to go for the next set. Okay, so that's the calf stretch, that's the quad hip flexor stretch. The next one is the groin, so the inside of that leg. Okay, so a good stretch I find is just kind of spreading your knees out maybe past shoulder width and doing that kind of cat stretch then and sitting back, and you feel it on the inside of your legs in the groin area, and that actually stretches your lower back as well, upper back, just gets a complete stretch there. Okay, so just do it from the side angle. So again, just open out the knees and just sit back, and you should feel that stretch on the inside of the groin. Okay, and you can hold that then. Again, no exact number, just depending on how your own body feels. It can be 10 seconds, it can be 20 seconds, it can be 30 seconds. It's actually nice enough stretch. Just breathing into it, sit back a little bit more. Stretches out the back. Helps you relax. Okay. So, that's your groin, your back stretch. And the last stretch then I want to do then is just the hamstring. So this is probably the most focused one. So just focusing on the hamstring. So again, into your lunge position. Okay, having your leg in a right angle, both legs in a right angle. And just sit back into it then. Getting your hands to the ground. Getting your chest to your knee as close as you can to it. And you just feel that stretch there on the back of your hamstring. Okay. Hold that for again 10-15 seconds. And push yourself out of it. And again, the other side. Get the chest down again, as close to your knee as you can. Sitting back. Some people are probably more flexible than I am. As far as you can, holding it again for 10-15 seconds. Okay. Okay, final stretch then I do. Move the stuff. Okay, your glute stretch. Okay, or the side of the hips and lower back. So all I do is lie down, shoulders flat on the ground, lift my leg over, and using my hand then kind of bring that across. Put your opposite hand then on the ground, keeping your shoulders flat on the ground, and just letting that knee kind of drop as far as you can. And then what you're doing is you're stretching outside your glute, your hip, even kind of getting in at your lower back. Just holding that again for as long as it feels. It's a nice stretch actually, it opens everything up. Kind of good for the hip and glute, even your lower back. Okay, just easing out of that and swapping on to the other side. Holding it for that 10-15 seconds. Using your breath, so you deepen the stretch then. Get your knee as close to the ground as you possibly can. And that's it. Okay, we do that maybe 4 or 5 minutes in the evening after our run. That'll just kind of help us to reduce injuries, get rid of any tightness or stiffness that we have, especially when we're starting to run. Our calves, especially that first one, is very important. You can do straight after the run, just come in the step of the door or the first step of the stairs, and just getting that stretch on the calves and the back of the Achilles. Okay, it's very important. Okay, so yeah, that's the first video then for this week. Put another video up next week. We'll put it on the group, and even those of you that are not interested in doing the running or not interested in kind of sticking to the plan for a few weeks, again, it might be just something you want to do. If you want to do running in your own time, whatever. There are just a few stretches that I find that are nice to do myself, and I find them kind of good to kind of keep myself less stiff as I go along. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next week.